When did that happen? Remember?
I think it was either right before we left. No, that had to have been like first week of August, somewhere around there. I think she made contact there.
Okay. So the plan was maybe to buy a house. I think you told me in Brighton. You're thinking about buying a house in Brighton.
Yeah, just like she liked that Adams 12 school system or something.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think that's what Brighton is. Adams.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about when you called the school that day on Monday?
I was freaking out. I didn't know, like I was thinking in my head, like what I just did, what I just done, and I didn't know, like it was stupid to do anything. Just, I mean, to call the school, to call Ann, to call anybody. I mean, they were right to be, suspicious about anything. Like, 'cause I knew I probably sounded eccentric on the phone and out of sorts, and just, I don't even know what they were thinking. They heard me.
I think they thought I was weird, but I don't know how you would not sound weird, like you said. So
are you 100% sure the girls were still around and alive when you drove out? Okay. So that's completely accurate. There's nothing else about that.
They got in the truck.
Okay.
where did the blanket go?
It's probably in the trash can or something, I think.
In the trash?
It wasn't like, it was still in my truck.
Okay. We thought we saw some GPS where you had stopped by near a construction roll-off dumpster. Is that true, or?
I think that's like, I dumped my clothes in there.
So that would have been on the way back to the house?
Yeah. My neighborhood.
Yeah. When Officer Kunab was there? Okay. Was it one of those red construction dumpsters?
More than likely.
Okay.
Did you pack new clothes? How did that work?
I already have some in there, because, like, in case we have, like, a spill or something, if you ever get crude oil on you, you don't... Yeah, I have 2 pairs of boots, all kinds of different stuff in there, just because, like just one time I had to pick up a spill and I had defrost on, and I had, like, a headache for, like, 2 weeks, because, like, the crude oil that comes, it's bad. So I always have something in there.
So where did you keep them after you took them off? Like, did you just change out there into your new other clothes?
So, like, I dumped my clothes in that dumpster.
But that wasn't that on the way back? When you were coming? Like, you'd already worked the whole day, right?
I worked, like, till, like, 11 or so.
11.
Yeah. So that was back when Nicole Atkinson...
Yeah, when she was
when she
at my
called.
house, hitting the doorbell, that's when I knew someone at the house.
Right.
Did you think right then, like, oh, fuck, like, here we go? Or what were you thinking then?
I didn't even know why she was there. I didn't know, like, maybe she had an appointment or something with Shanann. I didn't know.
What did you think, like, that day, like, what you were going to say? Like, what was your plan? Were you just going to go home and be like, report to the police that your family's gone, or?
I had no idea what was going to happen. Like, after everything, I mean, I don't even know how I was even acting even normal to people that I was around. Because when, like, Troy and Cody and Chad and Melissa and all them, like, when they showed up on the site, I don't even know how I was even being somewhat even coherent what I was saying, but apparently that showed me. So I didn't know what was going to happen. Like I said, this wasn't like something like some Criminal Minds type.
Like, well thought out.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing like that.
If I made it at that point.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going to happen.
So once the girls were gone, was it also just a minute-by-minute thing as far as the oil tanks?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I mean, just thinking about an oil tank just makes me want to throw up.
And was that just because it was in front of you and there it was and just presented itself? It wasn't a plan beforehand? Okay. Was there any reason why the separate ones?
No, it's like you said, it was like going up the stairs, and it No, like what Frank said is like I was trying to separate everybody. That's not.
No.
No, I didn't want to separate anybody.
What was the reason?
I can't even tell you. It was like I said, like someone else was in control of what I was doing, and it was like I was doing something I never thought I would ever do in my life.
Did you think there would be less chance of someone finding them if they were in separate tanks, or?
I don't.
Sounds like a really.
Oh.
Whatever my reasoning was in my head that day, it wasn't sound. Nothing was right.
And you don't even remember thinking about it?
No, it was like a reaction of something that I wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the trash bags? Do you remember that?
Oh, with
There were two.
okay. Yes. Trying to, because like this she kept. I didn't want to, like when I was putting there's one coherent, I guess, thing I had, like I didn't want the girls looking at Shanann while they were in the back seat.
So what'd you do?
I put a trash bag on one end and on her feet and on her head, so they didn't have to see.
Okay. And they were just too little to kind of figure out, right?
Yeah, they didn't notice.
Okay. That's good.
I just know, like when I was driving up there, I mean, they were just, sitting there, just, kind of asleep or kind of just like, holding on to each other, laying in each other's laps. I didn't.
Do you remember having any thoughts or thinking about why not just putting them all together with Shanann?
Honestly, it was just happening so fast. I had no time to really have a thought that was my own.
Okay.
But I wasn't like dutifully trying to separate anybody passing away, trying to keep anybody separate. And everything, Frank, Sandy, and Frankie said, like I don't hold it against them. I mean, they can hate me for. They have a right to hate me for the rest of their lives.
They don't hate
They
you.
don't. In fact, while we're on the subject, I speak with them weekly, and I told them that we were going to come here, and then hopefully they would speak with us. And they told me to tell you, understandably, they're devastated, but they actually said that they love you. They still love you, and Sandy explained it. He's our son-in-law for 8 years. They can't just turn that off. So they don't hate you. They don't.
That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah. Well, and I can tell you, Sandy was the one that was most resistant to penalties in this case, and she said that. She told me that from the very beginning. That she didn't want that. It's God's decision. It's not her decision. And then she told me that even then. So it's not just a one-time thing that she has said it to me. It's been over the whole course of the event. So that's probably one of the most honest things someone's ever told me. So it's pretty amazing. Faith is. She's obviously a believer. So am I. I get it. So I understand it.
That's amazing to even hear that.
Yeah. Good people.
I would have figured they would have hated me for.
They don't. I mean, anybody would think that. I certainly would, but I have to admit I was surprised, really taken back by that. But they certainly don't.
So what they say when they knew you were coming out here?
They said they want to know, details because they need closure. And that's really all they want, and they want to keep it private. And I said, well, absolutely. We'll talk to them about what you told us, and just so they can put it past them, because they're having a hard time dealing with it and trying to get past it all. And I think that may help, just to know.
Closures, I mean, my parents still think, like I've told them I pled guilty for a reason,
Right.
Right.
and like I told it to them, and they had that video video phone thing in Colorado the day before, like I pled guilty, like I plead guilty for a reason. Like I didn't just, I knew other people were watching, but I didn't just go in and like just say anything. Like they seemed to take it, like okay.
What
And
made you do that, Chris? What made you plead guilty?
I didn't want anybody else to. I didn't want them to go through this for 2 or 4 years. I didn't want my attorneys to lie for me for 2 or 4 years. Like they would have done anything I told them to do.
Sure.
That's what they're. I don't see how they can do that. Like that's what attorneys do. Like they take their defendant and they say like what happened. Okay, we'll go with that story. Like I told them everything I just told you guys, and it's just like they got together like, well, if they ever offered a plea deal, would you ever want to like just plead guilty to? I'm like, yeah. I mean, if we can end this, end it. Like I was like in September, I told them that.
Really?
Yeah, but it was way too early, and prosecution was still doing their investigating, still grabbing evidence and all kinds of stuff, and that wasn't even really on the table. So I think it was like around Halloween. I think that's when the prosecution went to Frank and Sandy, Frankie's house, and it's talking like, if we can end this, would you be open to that? And that's when like the whole death penalty and everything, all that conversation happened. And I guess they were surprised that it would just be over.
Yeah.
And
We were all in shock. I'm not gonna lie.
and it was like,
It's like we were going 100 miles an hour, and then we just hit a brick wall. Like that's what it felt like to all of us. So I mean, obviously you had more time to
yeah, I mean,
contemplate it than
yeah,
us.
I told John and Kate and Sophia and everybody, Amy, okay, if we can just stop this, and like, I know it's, everybody's telling me to fight this, there's no like, there's like, everybody's saying there's like not enough evidence to such this and that, and I'm just like, no, this needs to end. Like, I don't want people to have to, because for Frank and everybody to have to fly back to Colorado every single time and get reminded of this, like, I'm not sure, it's never going to go away, but to actually have to come and talk about it, have other people talk about it, have, all three of you get on the witness stand and say, what they saw, what they've seen, what they heard on tapes and everything like that. It's just like, I don't want people to relive that over and over and over again for years. Like, if I could just end this for everybody, and then like, if there's any closure at all, they could start then instead of like in 2022. But and everything just like, so I know it'd only get worse for everybody.
So did it have anything to do with you not having the death penalty?
No, like, I mean, honestly, like, when I was sitting in that cell, I felt like I should have died. I mean, I was listening to everybody telling me, like, hey, if you do this and this, you can hang yourself in that cell. You could do this and that.
They were like telling you stuff you could
You
do.
could drown yourself in the toilet if you wanted to fill your toilet bowl up or something like that. It was, they've been there a bunch of times. And, like, I was, at one point I was listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just felt like maybe there's a different purpose for me somewhere. Maybe it's here. I don't know. Like, I prayed to God every day that He would move me away from Colorado, like, move me away from like the DOC there, because I just knew, like, they were saying there was a hit on me. They said if I was going to a DOC in Colorado, like, I'd last a week and I'd be dead, because like the gangs and all that kind of stuff. So like, I just felt like God moved me here for a reason, and I'll, hopefully I can help people that way. But like, I didn't want my family, I didn't want Shan's family, all of our friends, like, having to go through that, because after a while I knew it was like, this stuff was everywhere, and I knew like all her Thrive friends, everybody, that was just like, it would just put that hole in their heart just a little bit bigger every time. I didn't want that. I knew it would have gotten worse. I didn't want it to get any worse than it already was.
Did you ever think about, well, it could be very believable, what I told him, it could be very believable that Shanann did, end the girls. And so maybe if I tried to convince people that, maybe if I fought with my attorneys on that, maybe I could lessen it somehow. Did you ever think about that?
Honestly, I never even thought about the story until you guys mentioned it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I wondered.
I never even thought about it until you guys mentioned it.
So what did you think about it once it got mentioned?
It's just like I just went with it. I didn't, like, you know, I knew my dad was out there. I knew it was like, you know, I knew they would probably believe it because, you know, my mom and my sister just never really liked Shanann. I knew it, like, you know, I mean, through all this, like, I got letters from some of my friends that even said, you know, when we went over to your house, we could see, you know, Shanann was more of a dominant personality and more of like, you know, you're always helping with the kids and everything. And just, you know, you're a great dad and everything. We could see, you know, a couple things that I never saw or, you know, whatnot. And even my best friend Mark even said, you know, there's always, you know, something, you know, I didn't really get with Shanann. I was like, nobody ever told me any of this stuff, but okay. But yeah, I never thought about that story. And, you know, that's what my attorneys were going with.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think it was probably the second week I told them, like, what had really happened.
What did they say after that?
They were quiet. They were writing it down. They were, you know, they said they wouldn't judge me. So I told them. I told them everything that happened. And they, you know, appreciated, like, I guess, you know, most of the time, you know, their defendant or their, you know, defendants don't, like, tell them actually what happened.
No. Yeah.
They just, you know, tell them, all right, get me out of here. This is what happened. But I told them what happened. I didn't want them going, if this was going to go, like, anywhere in courts, I didn't want them to be under a false pretense and, like, get surprised. So I know, like, there was probably things that you guys probably knew that maybe if I lied to them and just told them, no, this is what happened, that it would have, like, made them look, you know, foolish and stupid and just, like, you know, unprepared. And I was like, this is what happened. And they, you know, they appreciated me telling them that. So now they would be prepared. And that's when they were saying, like, you know, if it was ever, you know, if we ever went to them, the prosecution, and say, if we could end this, would I be open to it? I'm like, if it could end, send it.
I know there was, like, wasn't her phone found on the couch or between the couch cushions? Like, did you plant all that
I
stuff?
just threw it in there.
You just threw it in
Yeah,
there? Why did you do that?
I don't know what was going on that morning. Like, even, like, you know, her watch, her phone, like, you know, if I was actually, like, if I'd planned this, I would probably just take it out to the field or something, you know? But,
What about her ring and stuff? What were you thinking about that?
it's like, you know, maybe she actually really wanted a divorce. Maybe she didn't want to fix it. Just put it there on the counter.
She took it off? Or did you take it off?
I took it off.
Okay. Oh, so that would look like she was saying, I want a divorce, I'm leaving it here when I'm taken off. I see.
So the phone and her watch and the couch, was that morning before you left to go to service? Okay.
That's, I think, Nicole's son found it or something.
Yeah.
What other things did you do that maybe we even missed?
So the phone and the watch. You know, I think I threw the therapy book she wanted me to read in the trash.
That was that morning?
I think so.
Were you trying to make it look like she threw it in the trash?
I don't know. I just like, I just didn't think nothing was ever going to work again. So I didn't know what was going on.
Did you go down to the basement? I thought the basement door opened.
Yeah, the door is open, but yeah. So there was a lot of movement, you know, I think it was around 4:26 or something. And the garage door opening, the basement door opening, and then of course the living room sensors and all. Do you remember what you were doing all during that time? Other than
You had a lot of
going out the
steps.
garage.
I'll just say that.
Okay. So like the basement, I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing I really have down there is my workout, the bench press and whatnot.
Do you remember going down there for anything or opening that door for anything? Did you think about, well, maybe I'll take her out that way, or is it a walkout basement?
No.
I wasn't at your house. Okay.
That's like a garden level basement. So
Okay.
But no, I don't remember really. What's that? I don't think I worked out that morning.
Like, were you packing your lunch in the kitchen? Like, did you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to do all that normal
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I packed lunch and everything. Did all that. I don't remember about the basement. Unless I just worked out that morning, I just don't remember. I don't think I did.
So one of the more
Unless there was a trash bag down there, then
Yeah, you got trash bags from there.
maybe there wasn't any in the garage, and I went down there and got one.
Do you normally carry a roll of trash bags in your truck?
No.
So there was a roll in your truck.
It was?
Yeah.
Maybe I just grabbed it and brought it with me then.
That would have been kept in the basement, maybe, or
Basement or the
or
garage.
the garage. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Graham?
one of the more kind of poignant or tender moments in all of this was seeing you with your dad when he came in. What was it like when you picked him up at the airport?
It was very strange. It was kind of like I almost knew this was probably the last time I'd ever see him on the outside. In my head, I knew that.
Yeah. What'd you guys talk about?
Honestly, like, he just wanted to talk about sports. He's like, you know, he's always kind of like, you know, distance himself from like a problem type thing. Like, you know, when, like, if there's ever an issue or anything like that, he always want to talk about, like, just bring up, like, when I would try to get him to quit smoking, like, all the time, like, that's after, like, I graduated high school and whatnot, he would,
Are you talking about cigarettes?
yeah,
Okay.
and he would always, like, just change the subject, like, oh, you know what happened in the race, football, just something. I mean, he just never wanted, like, you know, he said, okay, yeah, I'll get to it, and, you know, just boom, something else. And, you know, I just kind of felt like it was kind of like that, you know, like, he asked, like, a few questions, like, you know, do you know where they're at, and do you think, you know where they're at, or anything like that, and I just, you know, told him no. And then, like, just want to talk about sports, just, like, normal things, and just kind of, I'm not sure if he maybe knew anything, you know, maybe he kind of figured out something maybe happened and just wanted to talk to me as his son.
Is it possible he saw that you were in a stressful situation and wanted to do what he always did? Make
Yeah.
things comfortable?
I think that was a good way to put it.
I bet you picked up a lot of that from him.
Yeah, because in stressful situations, like, I mean, the gray hair didn't show it, but, like, I try not to be in stress. But, you know, it's, like, you know, I worked on cars, there's a lot of stress, because it's always, you know, it's on commission, you know, you get paid what you do, not by showing up. So, you know, then Darko was a little less stressful, because, you know, I got paid just to be there. But, you know, it's...
Was your dad's marriage like yours and Shanann's marriage, as far as, like, your dad was the more passive one and your mom was the more
my mom
dominant?
was always the more aggressive one.
Was she like Shanann in a way? I mean, were you attracted to Shanann because she was kind of like how your mom and dad's relationship was, or?
It was like, you know, it almost mirrored, like, her mom and dad's relationship, honestly, because her dad's like my dad. They're both, like, kind of calm, cool, collected.
I could see that,
And
yeah.
her mom is very...
Sandy rules that roost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very. And it's just like, you know, I kind of related it to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, her mom always said, like, she always told Shanann that she would marry somebody that was kind of like her dad. And I felt like I was kind of like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wasn't, like, you know, I couldn't build a lot of things he could, but, you know, our personalities were kind of like, you know, I was always, you know, I think he really liked me the first time he met me because, like, I was helping Shanann with this, she had got this car from the dealership that she worked at, and she was driving around, and it felt like, you know, the wheels might fall off. And I pulled over where her dad was, and I got her bit jacked it up, and I was, like, you know, trying to fix everything. He said, like, any other guy she'd ever dated would have just, like, stood by and watched me do it. And so I think that's when she really, like, kind of like me.
Took to you.
It was just like I was always wanting to help people, not to hurt anybody.
Well, and you helped her all through her lupus, and you're at the colonoscopy, and you're jacking up the car.
Yeah, I did. I mean, anytime she had an issue with, like, car at the Dirty South Customs, and, like, I would just go out to work, see what I could do with it. You know, I would just, you know, do whatever I could to help.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the reasons Frank and Sandy work so well is because Frank led Sandy to Sandy.
Yeah.
And they probably both saw in you that you let Shanann be Shanann.
Yeah, I just like, I didn't try to change her.
Right.
Like, I just let her be, who she is.
Yeah.
She's like, she's gung ho. She's, she knows what she wants. She's gonna go get it.
Yeah.
And I didn't say, hey, you can't do that. And that's what her first husband did.
Yeah.
He controlled everything. He tried to be Sandy, and it didn't work. And she turned into almost like me. She was like, she just kind of like played back and just kind of like let him do what he was doing. And then I think she learned after that she could just be herself. And then with me, she could definitely be herself.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked.
So do you think your dad had any inkling? Because I'm trying to remember the timing. He showed up when you were still walking around. You weren't in any trouble yet. Ronnie came in.
Yeah, I had met with you the night before, like 3 or 4 hours. And then I was at Nick and Amanda's house.
Okay.
We met there, and that's when I went to go pick him up.
Okay. And you picked him up. It was early that morning, right?
He was like 10:30, I think, when his flight came in.
Okay. And then so from there, you guys probably drove home and then to the police station.
Yep.
And the talks there were no type of confession from you. Okay.
No, it was like, he was just gonna wait. Okay. I told him, like, if you're hungry, there's like that barbecue joint down the street, and like, it's good. And it's, he told me he never left.
He didn't. I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
He's faithful. He was.
I mean, I don't know how he lasted that long on food.
We ended up giving him food.
Yeah. Okay.
He was great. And the reason I ask is because when I look back and watch that video, now knowing what I know after talking to you today, I can see how genuine he was. But I just didn't know if you guys had come up with some sort of plan. Okay.
No, he never talked about it. Okay. If I had told him anything, he would have probably just told me, just tell him right away.
I think you're right.
He would have still loved me either way, but he would have told me to tell him,
Yeah.
like right now.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think I was going to be there for 14 or however long it was, like 10 hours, however long it was that late.
You were there a long time.
Yeah, but it was, he would have told me just to say, just to tell you.
Yeah.
Did you know walking in there that you were going to tell us? Or did you think...
I didn't, I knew there was a reason you brought me back, and I know well for the,
What'd you think about the polygraph?
that was horrible.
Why'd you say
I
that?
don't know how you do that.
Why'd you say that?
Because Tammy's a torturer.
I'm not.
No, like,
Tell me.
You answered, you asked me questions for like 3 or 4 hours beforehand, then you do the polygraph, and it's like you just break down somebody's brain to where like,
Too much or what?
Too much. Jello, and it's just like, I know it's you guys have a job and you have a plan, and that's what you executed it.
So she's thorough, right? There's just no way to get out of there without the truth.
No, I kind of knew like because right when he asked me about like Saturday night, when I told you about the Rocky, I was like, man, she was like going through her head. I thought, why?
Well, we did know, we found out about Nikki right before the polygraph.
I figured that out after with meeting with John and everybody that she had met with somebody from the CBI, like on the 14th or the 15th. I was just like, wait, they were talking. Oh, okay. So you already knew. So, but
I mean, I didn't know how extensive it was, but yes, we knew.
yeah, walking in there that day, just walking into that room, I knew I wasn't walking out.
Yeah.
Just the feeling I had walking in that room.
Yeah.
Just I don't remember if the polygraph stuff was already in there. I think it was.
It was, yeah.
But it was. I knew it.
I just feel like sometimes when people, do the bad thing, and they stay, like, some part of me thinks, well, I think they're here because they really want to tell us what happened. Because it's not normal that you want to keep all that in. Like, that just kills people on the inside, and I could tell it was killing you that day.
Yeah, it was just like that. 13th when I slept in the house, I don't think I slept maybe like 2 hours because I just finally just got so tired I just fell asleep. I had every light on. Nothing felt right.
What were you thinking about during your media interviews?
I didn't want to do it.
Why did you do it? Did you feel like you had to do it?
I felt like, they would have just kept knocking on my door.
Yeah.
Until I answered it, and like I didn't even set it up, but Nicole Atkinson set it up. She told me, "Hey, Fox
Did
is
she
gonna."
know where to set it up?
She said Fox is gonna be at your house at 10:30. I'm like, what? Like, okay. And I think I even called you about it. Like, what do you recommend that I do? And he's like, it's kind of up to you. I'm like, okay. And I called one of her friends. What should I do? And she said I probably wouldn't do it, but I just felt like I don't even want to know what. Like, I didn't even set it up, but because Nicole Atkinson set it up. Some people told me, "Hey, Fox is gonna be set it up." She said Fox is gonna be at your house at 10:30. Like, what?
It didn't look good. I mean, obviously we can't say, oh, we knew right then he was lying, but I think we all watched it together and went, this might be bad.
Yeah,
I had that feeling after I watched it. So I could kind of see it in your face.
it's like I was just lying to more and more people, and it was just like
Do you have internet access here?
no.
Say, don't get into that trap that everybody's in. Just watching all
What trap?
that.
Oh.
The social media trap and all that.
No, they
It's
don't.
ridiculous.
They don't let you have social media here. Like, I think some of the GP guys are getting like these little like tablets or something that are like the size of like a older iPhone or something. But I think they can use like email. But I'm not sure about like social media. No, definitely no social media. But like, I'm not sure about internet or not. But this place is kind of like like dead zone pie for phones, anyways. I would think.
I don't know, we're getting service, which is weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would.
It's right here.
Yeah, right in this room.
Maybe it's just kind of like a hub of computers.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
is the spot.
Yeah, computer room. You would hope they had some.
Did you talk to Nikki afterwards? After all this happened?
On 13th and 14th.
What was that conversation like?
It was the 13th. It was kind of like, it was more text and then maybe a phone call, like a phone call. And then she thought maybe she had took off with the kids, because I was telling her I didn't know where they were and all that. And then the 14th, she kind of thought something may have happened because they had to come back.
And why do you say that she might have thought that?
Her, she kept asking me some weird questions. She kept asking questions that only I would know, but she was testing to see if it was actually me on the phone.
What do you mean?
She would ask what's my dog's name, or what do I what yoga studio do I go to, or something like that. And just I just answer and then another thing about I'm not sure if this is you. I'm just okay.
Is this through text or is this through calls?
Text.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't hearing your voice. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible she thought you'd been arrested and we were on the phone?
Either Shanann had my phone or somebody else had my phone, or maybe maybe she thought it was.
Well, hopefully Shanann would know all the answers to those questions, right?
No. This is Nikki asking me.
Yeah, but if she's asking you your name of your dog and what yoga studio and wouldn't Shanann know that?
Maybe she thought maybe I was with Shanann and thought she was just trying to find out who she was. But yeah, some of the conversation on the 14th got a little weird. I think that's when she met with CBI or something, or FBI. I'm not sure who she met with first.
So she talked to you after she met with?
No.
Oh, she
that
did.
was she had told me this is the last time you'll probably hear from me. I'm going to stay at my friend Jim's place. All this is all going on. She said not to contact her until this is done. She told me to delete everything, and I didn't delete everything. I just okay. I'm not sure why I didn't delete everything, but it probably helped you guys out a little bit. But
She told you to delete everything?
delete all conversations.
Did she tell you why?
She just said delete it. Which I don't think you can ever delete a text message.
I'm pretty good at getting deleted text messages.
Did when your dad came in, one of the first things you guys talked about, he said, kind of quietly, I cheated on her, I cheated on Shanann or something. Your dad didn't know until that time?
No, when I was in North Carolina on August 6th when I spent most of the day with my parents and my sister and everybody. You know, they had, I had told them like something like, you know, this, I don't think this is gonna work. Like, with what happened with the nuts and everything, and they're not being able to see the kids, they're like, you know, this is the first time they had talked to me, and pretty much.
Oh, because you went 3 weeks or something, right?
Yeah, because Shannon told me to call them while I was at the beach just to smooth everything out, because she was like, all right, whatever's going on in your head, you need to fix this. But she didn't want she didn't want the kids to see him. She didn't want to see him. And then, like, when I did see him on August 6th, it was after I went and saw my grandmother. She's in a nursing home. And she still wouldn't go see my parents or anybody or the kids. So I just told her to leave me there, and my dad come pick me up, and, you know, spent the whole day there. And they were, you know, they said they want to see the kids. They just don't know if they could ever, like, you know, just forgive Shan for everything that happened that day. I guess, I mean, I'm not sure, like, everything that was said that day when they had that argument, but apparently it was, like, a knockdown, drag out, like, bomb that went off in there.
Pretty hurtful things.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. And, you know, they just don't know, like, if they could ever forgive her or not. And I just, like, I never told them about, like, you know, cheating on her. Like, they even asked me, is there somebody else?
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
So they could kind of sense maybe something's going on.
Yeah, because Nikki was texting me the entire time I was over there.
Oh.
So, like, they could kind of see, like, I was texting somebody. But it was like, maybe they kind of knew. Like, even like when I was in San Diego talking to my friend Mark, I told him about Nikki, but I didn't tell him, like, I was going to meet up with her.
Okay.
I told him that, you know, I was trying to, like, I should have just told him right then, maybe that would have helped me. I know maybe he had an instance where there was some girl coming after him, and she was engaged, and he ended up getting with her, and then they were together, and then she cheated on him.
Is this before he was married or during?
It was after.
Okay.
But, like, he could have, you know, helped me, but I just, you know, I never told him the whole thing. That, you know, it was a lot further along than I wanted it to be.
That's interesting to think about, right? Because your dad could have given you some good advice.
Yeah, everybody. Oh, this is my friend Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. When I was in San Diego.
Oh, I gotcha.
So you think you told Mark about that and hoping that he maybe questioned you about it, or?
Well, I was, because, you know, Mark, my best friend, you know, I grew up with him since I was like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, like, I had been married before, and it didn't work out. I guess they were stationed together or something, like, over in Korea. And I should have just kind of just came out with, like, the whole story. Like, you know, like, I just told him there was this girl at work that, you know, I've been talking to, but I'm just distancing myself from her.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I was just letting it, you know, exponentially get worse.
Right.
If I had told him, like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
he would have been like, whoa, man, like, all right, take a step back and look.
Yeah. Right.
And, like, don't, like, fall into that trap, being you're going to be alone for 5 weeks.
Right.
And there's times I wish, you know, like, maybe Shanann didn't have to go away for 5 weeks. Maybe we all just went for 1 week.
Yeah.
Nothing would have ever happened.
Yeah.
It's only, I mean, 5 weeks alone, that's the only reason, really, that was almost even allowed to happen.
There are quite a few people who would tell us, and who do tell us, you need to look into Nikki more, Nikki Kissinger. All the way from the extreme end of things being Nikki's the one who ordered the hit.
She was there, hiding in the basement.
She was there. You know, so the extreme is she's the one who told Chris to do it. She's the real problem. All the way, that's the extreme side, and then all the way to, well, there were these texts where she was infatuated, she was in love, she was saying how good Chris was in the sack, and maybe we should look at her more. You know, what would you say to those people?
Like, you know, she had her moments where I had to talk her, like, off a ledge kind of deal.
What does that mean?
It's like, I guess after the fact, there was, like, videos of her that she was, like, recording herself because she was, like, bipolar or something. I never do that. But it's like, and she would get worked up about nothing. She would just, like, she came to my house once because I think it was, like, July 4th. I didn't have to work that day. So I didn't, like, get up at, like, 4 o'clock and go home. And she had called me, like, 10 times in a row. and I didn't hear it because I was asleep. And I was just like, and she was pissed. Shanann was pissed. Shanann was pissed. And like I called her on the outside, like, where are you at? Like, what? Like, I was like, I didn't have to work today. It's like you called me at like 5:30. It's like, well, kids want to talk to you at 7:30. I'm like I was sleeping. She was like, she just like, screw you, like like I don't know where you're at. And I went back inside. Told me like I gotta go. And she was just like, okay. Are you coming back? And like, probably not.
So wait a minute, you kind of lost me there. Were you at Nikki's place when
Yeah.
Shanann called you?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you were sleeping in her bed.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to work that day because I didn't have to that day.
Okay.
The first holiday I ever had off, and Shanann was pissed, and it kind of pissed Nikki off too that I left. But I think that's when I called Nikki later, and she was like, she kind of realized that she'd always be like the second. She said second fiddle.
Sure.
And because that's how I probably would come back that day. Just, I don't want to be anywhere else when Shanann calls. And she was already pissed. So it was stuff like that where she would go. She said she would go on like websites and look at like will a relationship work with somebody, like will a mistress work? Will a mistress turn into a relationship?
That's what Nikki was looking at?
Yeah.
She would tell you that, or you
She
heard
told
that?
me that.
Okay.
Yeah, she said that she would go on websites and look at stuff like that. I was like, why do you even look at stuff like that? She's like, I just want to see what other people have experienced.
But so that confuses me though, because I thought earlier you were saying she thought you were heading toward a divorce. So why was she looking at herself as a mistress?
This was later on.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
in August, like the first week of August, when I told her, like, I had that talk with her about separation, that's when, like, she started looking at, like, apartments and stuff. But, like, during our July relationship type thing there,
Oh, I see.
that's when she was looking up, like, will it actually work?
Okay.
She told her friend Brittany about it, I guess, and Brittany told her not to do it, but she said she already made a decision.
Okay. And so, are those people absolutely wrong about Nikki? She wasn't asking you to get rid of your family?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. And no part of any of this was because she put it in your head or asked you to, or?
No, she never, I mean, this whole relationship contributed to it.
Sure.
But she didn't want me to.
Hey, was it ever like, I wish you didn't have kids, I want to have, kids of my own with you, like?
She never knew if she wanted to have kids, but she said that, at one point she said, I'd like to give you a son.
Did she know that Shanann was pregnant with a boy?
No.
Did she know Shanann was pregnant?
No.
And why is that? You just didn't tell her?
I didn't know. Like, because we had met.
But Shanann put that on Facebook. Like, how did she not see
I
that?
don't know. Maybe she did. She just waited for me to tell her, or she put it out of her head.
Can I ask you a question? A lot of people think you named Nico after Nikki. So what was that?
Nico was actually named that Shanann liked.
Okay. Shanann thought of that one?
Yeah, I wanted to spell it like N-E-K-O. I thought it was like Nico that way. But she said N-I-C-O. And I thought it was something like Nico or something.
Okay.
I guess Nico is more of like an Italian name.
Yeah.
So, and like she did leave for, my middle name, my dad's and all that. But like Nico is like, that's a name that she always liked.
Okay.
Did she name all the kids? Did she name Bella and Celeste?
Yeah, Bella, because Italian means beautiful. Marie, mom's middle name. Celeste is her grandmother's name. Catherine's Shannon's middle name.
Did you have any input in their names?
I liked them. I was like, if we had a third child, I was gonna, maybe we could have like Lee in the middle name, but I knew like the girls' names. And, I love those names, so I was like, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like with the, you have little nicknames for them, like Belle and Belladine and Cece, obviously. So it was good, but yeah, Nico was, it was okay.
Can I go back to the house on the 13th? So, at one point, right when you got back there, and Coonrod was there, Officer Coonrod, and Nicole was there, and then you went in the house and you were for about a minute or so before you let everybody in. Do you remember what you were doing in there at that time?
So I went into the garage,
Right.
and then I ran around and I opened the front door.
Yeah.
Opened the front door for everybody come in through the garage and the front door.
Everybody comes through the front door.
Yeah, so I came in, I went in through there, I came in and opened the front door, and I ran upstairs. And I just was like I was looking around.
Okay. That's after everybody? Did you go around the house at all before you opened the front door?
No, I didn't run around the house. I stayed down on the bottom, on the bottom floor, and then went and opened the door.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious.
And I ran upstairs and everybody else, and that's when Nicole's son found the phone, and I was going acting like I was walking through the house.
Yeah.
Jeanette had her bra on. Was that normal that she would sleep in her bra?
Every once in a while. I mean, she just got home from the plane, so she didn't even take off her makeup or anything. Maybe she was just that tired. But normally, I don't know.
Did it not come off when you guys had sex? No?
I think so. Sometimes she just, she keeps her shirt on and she doesn't want me to do anything. Just like, she wants what she wants.